Cover crop innovations in Huron County. Since 2016, Ausable Bayfield Conservation and Maitland Valley Conservation have held a yearly cover crop workshop. This forum has provided local farmers an opportunity to talk to each other about their experiences using cover crops. Over the 5 years, a number of different topics regarding cover crops have been discussed. For example, can cover crops be effectively used after a corn crop? What about grazing cover crops or harvesting them for feed? Do they still have value to the soil and prevent erosion? What equipment modifications are needed to plant cover crops? These, along with many other questions, have arisen as a result of these workshops. Throughout Huron County, farmers are innovating with cover crops. As these innovations are studied further, there will be more information to share at future cover crop workshops. Here are just a few demonstrations that can be found throughout our watershed. Just south of Clinton, Ontario, local farmer Bill Gibson and the Ausable Bayfield Conservation Authority have partnered to plant cover crops into 60-inch double corn rows. Each of the 6 plots have a slightly different treatment. Some of the scenarios include looking at different plant populations, tailoring the cover crop mix to benefit either the current corn crop or the subsequent soybean crop, and varying the cover crop seeding rates. Some of the indicators that will be measured include the corn yield, cover crop biomass, soil health indicators in both the fall of 2020 and 2021, as well as soybean yield in the following crop. Early results should be ready to share at the 2021 Cover Crop Workshop. Dwayne Fettis and the Ausable Bayfield Conservation Authority have partnered to do various monitoring efforts on one of his fields in central Huron. This year, he will be planting a cover crop with the intent of doing a side-by-side comparison. Some of the cover will be left over winter, while some of it will be harvested for animal feed. A number of soil health metrics will be measured to determine if harvesting the cover crop makes a difference to its effectiveness in preventing erosion and helping to improve soil health. Dwayne also has a second field that was set up naturally to provide an interesting demonstration. Of his cornfield, all but 5 acres were taken for silage, and 5 acres were combined. He then planted a rye cover crop into 32 acres of the field, leaving the 2 5-acre plots without cover. This spring, he no-tilled in soybeans and is interested in seeing if the different management styles affected the crop. We look forward to hearing his findings from this experiment. Finally, Laverne Flynn, who farms just south of Exeter, Ontario, planted a spring cover crop. Due to poor weather and timing last fall, he was not able to plant a winter wheat crop. As he did not want to plant soybeans a second year in a row, his neighbor, Eric de Vlamink, convinced him to plant a cover crop instead of leaving it fallow. They believe that this will help to condition the soil in preparation for a winter wheat crop that will be planted this fall. These are just a few ways that cover crops are being used in our watershed. We hope to provide some of the findings from these projects at our next cover crop workshop in January 2021. Keep watching ABCA channels this fall for more information about the workshop. Now is the perfect time to be thinking about cover crops. If you're thinking about using a cover crop on your farm, you may be eligible for a grant through the Huron Clean Water Project. Call Ausable Bayfield Conservation or Maitland Valley Conservation to find out more. Thanks for watching, and a very special thanks to our local farmers and partners on these projects.